And now doing this, it's just so, like, I believe in what we're doing and we're helping people. So like, yeah, it's a sense of purpose for me, I think. Thank you.
And also love what you do, and also do it together.
Oh, yeah.
So you said, Rich, you said before, professionally it's amazing, but I do think we need to talk. So we'll talk about the book, small talk, and let's talk about it. This wasn't the book that was supposed to happen. So there's a whole chapter on how to write a book with your ADHD wife. So should we just start about? Let's talk about the pivots that happened.
Well, I'll start and then you do the pivot, yeah, because you were the pivot. So obviously we wrote our first book, Dirty Laundry. Done pretty well. Penguin approached us and said, we'd love you to write another book. So we did. We had to do a proposal. This is what it's all going to be about. And then when you work with a publisher, you've got deadlines to meet, which don't go well with ADHD.
That's a general ugh.
So I was the one in charge of obviously carving time out in the diary, protecting the space for Rox, making sure she was in creative environments where she could work and stuff to do her chapters. And I think it was a month away from deadline day. Do you want to take over this bit?
I decided to write a different book. We're about 3 or 4 chapters in, heavy in, covered designs of the other book, which was called Late Bloomers, which is now our podcast. So it didn't die, it just morphed, as many ADHDers know. That's what happens to ideas. But we were writing a book called Late Bloomers, and it was very much about how to be productive with ADHD and how to do things, and trying to write a happy book, which doesn't suit my personality, strangely. And then I was doing a quiz on Insta for one of the chapters, and it was about the core beliefs that people with ADHD have. And we asked a question, and it was just, what is a core belief that you have? And the answers were just the most devastating things I've ever read, and there was thousands of them, and I was in hyperfocus mode, so I sat down with an Excel and I went through every single one and I made it into a pie chart so I could show. And it was, nobody said anything positive. It was lazy, useless, a failure, a burden, people would be better off without me. And I read it all through and I was like, oh shit, man, that is so much more real than an ADHD hacks book. There's place for that, there's place for productivity hacks. But in that moment, I just realized the bigger problem isn't the symptoms. Losing keys, bit forgetful, dancing around in your seat, that's okay. It's the fact that we've all learned to hate ourselves on a deep level, and are walking around with the most chronic low self-esteem. And that isn't a symptom of ADHD. You don't read that in the DSM, but just really quickly realised there was another story to tell. It was also the story of my life. I resonated so deeply with feeling like a lazy, useless loser. And that's what I called myself for a long time. So I sort of came in with my pie chart and was like, they all hate themselves. I do too. Can we write that book, please? And you actually did.
I was more worried about the publisher because it was a month before the deadline. This is all lovely, but it was all last minute. But they were actually fine, wasn't she? We got on a call.
They were fine. And actually, you can work with ADHD people and sign them to write books, but you also have to realise they might change the plan last minute and deliver it on time. So in a way, the month deadline, which was that sort of impossible to write a book, was like, is it?
Is it though?
Hold my pen, baby. I'm not going to sleep for this month. And there we have it.
And you must be so proud of this book, because it's much more important. My favourite line, I think, is, I've told you guys this, it's you can't create a life you love if you hate yourself. And it's that's so fundamental to any kind of self-help work, isn't it? So
yeah, and I think every ADHDer's journey has got years and years of trying to beat the ADHD out of themselves with productivity, programs, any way I'm going to overcome it. I'm going to be great with money, great with time, great with organisation. You set up a new system, it works for 2 weeks. You fail again, you feel terrible. It's just this shame cycle of change.
Yeah.
And actually understanding the way to a good life is not trying to turn yourself neurotypical, it's just working with your own brain. Like, I'm so much happier, like genuinely quite shame-free these days, all these years later. But I know better. I still lose everything all the time. I'm still running late and flustered and having meltdowns. I'm the same brand of chaos, but rather than trying to shame it out of me, I just work with it. It's okay, it's what it is.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's so brilliant to hear. So the book's called Small Talk, 10 ADHD lies and how to stop believing them. And when you say lies, that's the core beliefs, isn't it? It's these 10 core beliefs that you kept seeing coming up in your community. And it's small talk because you say it's the talk that keeps you small, because then you aren't able to, like you say, live how you should be living and ask for the support you need and recognise you just have different needs. So we're going to go through 2 of them now, just before we kind of go to questions. Do you want to talk through, I think I'm lazy, was